Whoa, did you see that over there?
No, I missed it. I was too busy looking at this thing over there.
It was a waveform. There's a bit of audio over there. You can't see anything. This is just audio. There's no video.
I didn't know where that was going. I didn't know that. I didn't know if you were like pretending as if we've entered this new realm with this new podcast. It's just like a new unexplored realm, but you were just okay.
There's a dinosaur.
I think that's still the waveform. It's like seeing shapes in clouds.
Whoa, that one looks like a that one. Well, it looks like all the other ones actually. All right. So, what is this, Noah?
All right. Now that we're done looking at waveform cloud shape things. Welcome to the first episode of Segmented. This is our brand new podcast, and if you do not know us, we're gonna get into the first segment. This segment is called Introductions, which is pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna explain who we are, what we do, and why we're making this podcast. So, would you like to start us off?
I would love to. Hello, I am Tendo. You can call me Tendo. For the sake of the podcast, I'm going to be Tendo.
Yes.
On the internet, I've also been known as Tendo Boy or Super Tendo Boy from my channel that I had and I still own. And for 3 years, I made Minecraft videos on that. I dabbled in a few other things, reached a decent fan base. I started, collaborating with Noah here, I think 2 or so years ago. And so we eventually decided to make a podcast. I have experience in a variety of areas. Like Noah, I've made videos. I edit. I did some animation, obviously Minecraft, video game stuff. I don't know. My presence on the internet is a bit scattered, but I mean, not giant. Noah?
It comes in waves, your presence. Sometimes it's there, and sometimes it goes back, and then it comes back with a bang, and then leaves for another 8 months. But fortunately, with this podcast, we have been getting your presence more often.
This is true. Yes.
This is quite true. So, I am Noah, or Nomich, as I'm known on the internet. I have been making YouTube videos for the past 3 years. I started out with Minecraft videos and other gaming videos. Then I was like, this is stupid. I hate this. Then I started making some live action things, some artsy videos that, I don't know, I keep making those periodically. And I have skills in video editing. I am dabbling in some graphic design from my previous work on the podcast that we used to do called the No Mitch and Super Tendo Boy podcast. I have learned how to market a podcast better and how to edit and what makes a good edit. I also listen to a lot of podcasts, so that helps with inspiration. And I guess the last thing I'd like to say is I hope you enjoy this podcast. That's who we are, for those who didn't know. If you'd like, I will leave the links to our channels for YouTube and our social media, so you can check us out there. And I guess you can listen to the podcast if you don't want to. I don't care. Except I do care. I care deeply. You listen to. Yes, I do. Because I put a lot of work into this. Okay, so let me just explain to you guys what this podcast is about. Because clearly it's called Segmented. And the reason that it's called that is because there are segments, and that's it.
Yep.
All of these are original segments, and if they're not original, then they're based off something else. And I don't know if they've been done other places, but
you're gonna pretend like it's just.
I'm gonna pretend like I've taken credit. I'm gonna take credit for all of these.
There you go.
And if I was inspired by something else, I will in fact link to them and give them the proper credit that they deserve. On that note,
there you go. And I mean, there's always the obligatory beginning segment of us talking about nothing until we decide to actually begin. And sometimes segments will turn into a segment that isn't scheduled, but it's just us rambling. and
Yes, a
talking
lot
about
of times we
nothing.
ramble on and on, but we'll try to keep these episodes short. Probably an hour tops. That's the goal. Unless it's a special. We will be doing various specials. Like we have a Christmas special that we'll probably be doing and some other specials. And
They're gonna be
that
fun.
should be pretty fun. And those will not be segmented into different parts. Unless it's, we say, okay, we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about that. So it's going to be less segmented and all about one thing instead of a bunch of different things.
Right.
That is the first segment done. Our second segment, which is cool. It's one that has been done very many other places that I didn't create it exactly, but neither did anybody else. I think it's just always existed, and it is word of the day. Many people do this, but I have words that they don't. So, this is a word that I actually had heard a while ago, and it's fairly well known, but not everyone knows it. And I think
I've
that
never heard of it.
you have never heard it, and I had never heard it until I had heard it. So that was
Wow,
like last
what
year
insight.
I did. What insight? Yeah. I get moments of insight like that sometime. So watch out, podcast listeners. You might get some nuggets of wisdom from the big No Mitch guy over here.
Oh, snap.
So the word of the day is machismo, which
Is that
if you,
machismo?
machismo,
Like pronounced with cheese in the middle.
yes, like the dairy product, cheese. Like there's Parmesan cheese and cheddar cheese and Swiss cheese and Gouda cheese and brie cheese. But despite the name, this has nothing to do with cheese.
It does.
It does not have anything to do with cheese. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Dang it.
The word is spelled machismo, machismo, and it is a noun, and it is strong or aggressive masculine pride. Which isn't a great word, but it's so freaking fun to say that I don't really care. It's like, if actually, in a way, I could think of, like, an example would be, like, old cartoon characters, or, like, old Batman things, like with the Adam West Batman. He comes in, and he's, like, punches them, and he's like, haha, I'm Batman, kind of, with a bunch of machismo. So that's how you use
essentially
machismo.
the more technical term of the word macho, which it
Yes.
derives directly from the word
Mm-hmm.
macho. When you say macho, you mean machismo, masculine, tough.
Except, I think macho is an adjective. So, like, it's an adjective form of machismo.
Right,
And also
machismo
another,
is a noun.
yeah. And a similar word to machismo is bravado, which is also a great word. But frankly, I think machismo is just fun to say. So,
I like
That's
machismo
why-
because I feel like it could make some much better puns.
yes. Except, I can't think of a context where there's cheese and the word machismo, but I understand where you're coming from. And I think that's pretty cheesy.
The question is, though, do you have machismo?
Absolutely not. No. I grew up
I-
with 5 older sisters. I'm the youngest. That's a little fact about me that you may or may not know.
Afraid I don't
and-
have any machismo either.
Yeah, well, that's because... Never mind. But yeah, no, I don't... I think that people with machismo are arrogant and should just stop. There we go. I think that's my stance on people with machismo.
I mean, I don't have machismo, but I got macheese.
Mo.
Yeah, Mo.
Hey, have you ever seen Wall-E? That guy's name is Mo, the little square one.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think machismo has to mean like derogatory. I mean,
I think
you
it's
can
not
have
necessarily derogatory.
you could have strong masculine pride. It'll
Yeah.
just probably make you come off as an absolute jerk.
Yeah,
But-
well, when I look, it says something about sexism in the synonyms. So
Okay, well, that's just because those are associated. Machismo does not infer that they are sexist.
I
can't-
know, but the connotation or inference of machismo is that you're probably a cocky potato. So, which is an insult that I use, potato.
Probably. Yes.
Yes. So, that's why I say people with machismo just should stop.
All right.
Ah.
Well, whenever I see someone that is that has machismo, I'm going to say that they do because they'll probably laugh and think that I'm making up a word to make fun of them. And I think is the most that is the most machismo thing that they could do. So
yeah, you're right.
I just used it as an adjective. It's not.
And that is when they look confused or just laugh, that you just pull them aside and say, "Here, listen to this podcast. It's totally legit. This authenticates that this is a real word." That's the only thing authenticating this. I mean, it is a real word, so I'm not just making it up. But come on, it kind of sounds fake, right? Like cheese.
It does sound fake.
It's like, wow, got my cheese, bro. You already made that, but it's redundant. Yes. So that's word of the day, which is cool. I like that segment, and it will be coming back later. Segment 3. Okay. Oh boy. Do we have a real good one that I'm 94% certain that we made this up or have done this on a podcast before anyone else.
Pretty high.
Well, as I said, I am 90% sure that we have done this before anyone else.
Whoa, what is it, Noah?
It's 90%. So, this is called 60-second improv stories, where both of us will give each other a name, a place, and a nonsense word.
Say that again, Noah. How long is it?
It's 60 seconds.
And what do you have to give us?
You gotta give us a name, a place, and a nonsensical word.
Wow.
Wow. Look at that. Innovation, which is also a great word.
All right. Well.
Okay, so the rules are simple. One of us will go first. I opt Tendo to go first. I'm volunteering him. Voluntolding him. You have been voluntold because you did not volunteer. So
don't voluntold me.
I will be giving him a name, a place, and a nonsense word. He has 60 seconds to make a story and a scenario with that. I will be timing him, and I guess once I tell him the things, I'll say go, and there we go.
All right.
Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
Tendo, are you ready?
I have never been readier, but I'm also not a professional, so.
Okay. So, your name is Bradlesus.
Bradlesus?
Bradlesus, yes.
Bradlesus.
Your location or place is under the bank. You can interpret that any way you'd like. And your nonsense word is lurdmify.
Lurdmify.
Lurdmify. Do you have all your things?
I have all my things. I might say all those things wrong, but we'll see. We'll see.
Bradlesus, under the bank, and lurdmify.
Got it.
You have 60 seconds. Go.
There once was a great bank. It was called the Great Brad Bank. Everyone at the bank was named Brad. They weren't clones, they were just all named Brad. It was a complete coincidence, so they called it the Brad Bank. But the greatest of the Brads, the manager, named Bradlesus, as they referred him. His name was actually Brad, obviously. He owned the bank. But you know what? He was also the clerk, and he was also a teller. He did everything because he was Bradlesus. But one day, during a meeting underneath the bank, all the other Brads decided they need to overthrow Bradlesus. So they brought out their secret weapon, the lurdmifier. And so the next day, they approached him. In the day, there was 3 Brads. There was only one Bradlesus. They pulled out the lurdmifier and they fired him with the lurdmifier, and he was lurdmified, which transformed him into a small soap-sized block of lard, containing all of the original mass that Bradlesus had formerly had.
Done. That's 60 seconds.
Oh,
that was pretty great.
That was perfect because I was just about to start making more stuff up.
called the Brad Bank. It's called the Brad Bank because they're all named Brad. They're not clones. It's just a coincidence. Just the way that you said they're not clones. It's just a coincidence. It's just. But then there's the main guy named Bradlesus. He's actually named Brad.
Yeah, Bradlesus sounded like leader to me at first, and then it sounded like Jesus. So I'm like, well, he's got to be the leader of all the Brads.
Yeah, of course. And then it's under the bank. So, I mean, hey, why not? And I like how they use a lurdmifier. I really appreciate that. Now, what's your place? Or your name, your place, and your thing for me?
I gave you a tricky one here, Noah.
Shoot. Not a tricky one.
Your name is von Schluler.
Okay, von Schuler, right? Von Schuler? Schuler? Von Schuler?
Von Schluer.
Schuler.
Von Schluer.
Von Schluer.
I'm going to go up by how I wrote it down. Von Schluer.
Von Schluer. Okay, that's the name. Got it.
All right. Your location is Dubai.
Okay, Dubai. That's pretty simple.
And your nonsense word is Ramshin.
Ramshin. Okay. Got it. Ramshin. Okay, do you want to pull up a 60-second timer?
That's exactly what I was going to do.
Okay. You tell me when I have 30 seconds left,
right.
which I was going to do, but if I'm in a really good rhythm, which I doubt I will be because,
I'll just say 30. Nothing else. Just that's all you'll hear.
Okay, 30. Got it. So,
ready?
Yep.
Get ready. Get set. Go.
Okay, so there's this German spy named von Schluer. That's his last name, of course. His first name is Jim. Everyone knows that he's Jim, except for the evil people who are in Dubai at this point because he is on a secret mission, trying to find his contact named Ramshin. His Ramshin is Sarah Ramshin. She is an attractive lady, and he gets blindsided by that. And so he asks her out on a date. He's supposed to be in Dubai trying to find her and kill her,
30.
actually, because, I said he was a contact, but it was actually his hit person. He was part of the Green Berets in Germany, and he was has to kill him. And so what ends up happening is this lady, who is very, very rich and evil, named Ramshin. What was her? Cecilia Ramshin, probably. That's her name. And so they go out on a date. And basically what happens is she takes out a gun and gives it to him. And then, dang it! So close! I was going to say she takes out a gun, gives it to him, and then he shoots her.
Wow. I gotta get that down. I gotta transcribe that for my next spy screenplay.
I think yours was significantly better than mine.
I wouldn't say that.
I would say that. Bradlesus.
Bradlesus was just such a good name, though.
I know. Von Schluer was kind of difficult for me to say, but I also realized that it's more Norwegian or Danish than German, but I had to roll with it. And also, I think I accidentally gave Ramshin a different name. I think I started out with something and then called her Cecilia, but
you know what? That's okay, Noah.
That's okay. Okay. Thank you, Tendo, for being gracious. That's the 60-second improv story. It's a good time for us, and I hope for you too. If you want to suggest a thing for this, go to Twitter or leave in the comments of this a name, place, and nonsense word, label it appropriately, and use the hashtag segmented improv story. And that is how we will find it. And we can take those and use them for our next thing. So we don't have to do all the work. Because it's so difficult to find out 3 things.
Whew.
Especially like the name with Bradlesus.
I'm going to think of a name that good next time.
Yeah. Von Schluer's was Jim von Schluer. He was fine. Next, we have a segment that I like to call corny humor. And the reason that Tendo is making that sound is because in our previous podcast that we had done together, at the end of every episode, I would read a corny humor joke, which is from this book known as, you guessed it, Corny Humor, More Wit and Witticism. It is published by the National Federation of the Blind. Everything is in Comic Sans, and these are the best jokes ever.
Why would you do
this? It's because everyone loved it, Tendo. Trust
me.
Life
is pain. I don't want to do this anymore, Noah. I thought I was gonna be done with this. I thought we were gonna end the podcast and I won't have to deal with this anymore, but it just haunts me.
But now it's a whole segment, so
just go, just do it.
That. Hey, but on the bright side, we won't be doing it every episode now.
Okay, that's true.
Okay, so I will be reading 4 jokes out of this book. This book that I found underneath very many things and stole from my sister. Never mind. Okay, so When Chicken Little was killed on the playground, his friends said it was an accident. The police, however, suspected foul play. It's funny because they're all chickens.
Yeah, because it's foul. Yeah, got it.
I wasn't expecting that to go so dark. Yikes.
Yeah. He was killed.
Yeah,
He
okay.
was killed in the playground.
Yep,
by his
it was
fellow
foul
students.
play. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know what the termite said when he walked into the bar?
Give me a tall one and a piece of wood.
No. Is the bar tender here?
That's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good. I like that one.
I like that one. I've never heard a pun like that.
You've never heard a pun like that.
It was. I mean, it was still just bland, poor joke. But
Would you say it was corny? Corny humor?
Sure. Yeah, it's corny.
Okay. Let me hit you with another one. Upside the head. Just poof. That's
Ow.
how you're feeling. Okay. Why couldn't the leopard escape from the zoo?
'Cause he was too easily spotted.
Oh, that's actually pretty close. He was always spotted. Wow.
That's
Tendo.
hilarious.
What if
That's how corny they are.
they're
I can
so corny? You know,
predict them.
The best corny jokes are predictable. And I think that this is a good segment that you should actually genuinely try to guess the answer. I like
You know what?
that.
There you go. Now I have a new motivation for it. I don't dread it.
Yeah, you don't dread it. You will love this, and so will everyone else. Except for some people, but that's irrelevant. Okay, what kind of bird carries the most weight?
Hold on. What would have a weight pun? Heavy pun. They're carrying the most weight. Maybe they're strong. I don't know, Noah.
A crane.
Oh, goodness. Because it's like a crane, the bird, but it's also like the machinery
Yeah.
crane that lifts things. Its weight.
Yeah,
Dang,
that's exactly it. You should have, but you didn't. That's okay. For this fifth and final segment of this podcast, this first episode is what I like to call Self-Promotion Corner, which is just us, and by us I mean probably me, explaining to you guys where you can find all the podcasts. So,
Yeah.
first and foremost, I'd like to say, if you're listening to us on iTunes or Google Play, please give us a rating, because that really helps boost search things. So if you search certain keywords, it will first show all the things with better ratings. So if you give us a rating, please do that. That would help us tremendously on Google Play or iTunes. Thank you in advance. If you didn't do that, then I mean, not thank you to you. Thank you to the people who just did that or will do that in 8
go
seconds.
away. We don't want you.
Whoa,
I'm
we
joking.
do
Come
want
back.
you. We still want you.
Come
Just,
back.
No. Come back, please. Oh no, Tendo,
too
now they're
late.
gone, and
It's
it's
too
all your
late.
fault. And it's
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
They'll come back later once they realize how awful their lives are without us.
Yeah, you guys.
Okay, and additionally, I'd like to say, if you like this podcast, or eventually end up liking it, because this is just the first episode, you can support us on Patreon, link in the show notes or the description. And this is just so we can keep this podcast going, and that's really it. And so we actually have a goal here that if we reach total of $30 a month, eventually, Tendo will eat a drop. And this sounds like just a drop. That's not that much. However, this is the hottest hot sauce that a consumer can buy in the world. He spent good money on this. And so
I didn't agree to this.
Yes, you did. If we end up getting $30 per month, then Tendo will have a little bit of hot sauce on the podcast. It'll be fun. Trust me. It'll be fun for me, especially, and fun for you guys.
So you wanna listen to me be in terrible pain for like 10 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. We might want to do that at the end, so it doesn't debilitate you. In order to, go on.
I feel like it'd be better if we did it like in the middle. That way I can talk about my terrible experience, and it can drain the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll have a hot sauce segment with Tendo.
Okay,
And
please
every
don't.
week he'll just drink a big swig of hot sauce, The hot sauce is called the Last Dab. It is made with a pepper known as Pepper X, who it's like the hottest. Like, how hot is it again, to know?
I believe it's 3.4 million Scoville units.
Which is hot, probably. I'm not familiar with Scoville units too much, but I know that it's hot, hot, hot the higher it is. So that should be fun. So support us on there. Get us to $30 a month, and you will change a life. For the worst, probably. It's going to be Tendo's life. But, hey.
Why?
In addition, $1 to our Patreon will grant you access to our Discord server, which I am active on. Tendo tries to be active as much as he can, even though he has a busy schedule. And we have other fans of the show that it's fun. And then you can also suggest segments, discussion topics, a bunch of other things, and like directly to us. So, and also if you have any comments about the show, you can just tell us directly instead of fiddling about with all those, silly comments, comment sections. In addition, if you give $3 or more a month, you will get everything from the $1 perk, as well as you will be able to send us a paragraph of your writing, as long as it does not contain any profanity or sexual content. You can give it to us, and we will make a song out of it.
That's a bad idea.
That's a great idea. It will be... This is a bad idea, but we're going to do it regardless.
Do it if you enjoy pain.
If you enjoy us going through pain, both physical with the hot sauce and socially, just our dignity.
Mental, emotional, I don't know.
Emotional, yep. Dignital, I don't think that's a real word.
I don't think it is either.
Then give us your money, and we will use it wisely. And by that, I mean we will just do it toward making this podcast better.
So it doesn't put us in debt.
Yes, that is exactly our case and our situation here. So, give it a look, see if you want it. And also, Patreon feed will have exclusive little audio clips from various episodes. And that's just patreon.com/segmentedfm, all one word. Link will be in the show notes. I guess there's nothing else to say on that. But our social medias and everything that you can find us will be in the show notes. If you'd like to go there, you can do that. And finally, I really hope you enjoyed this first episode. Tendo, would you like to take us out?
You're sitting. There's a chair. It's on a tree. I lied. It's on a cliff. The cliff breaks. You're falling. And the last thing that you hear before your body hits the ground is what bird can carry the most weight. And with that thought, everything goes black. Also, you remember that the answer is crane.
That was great.